Welcome to another episode of the Palm Springs Baker. I know I keep saying this, but Palm Springs is such a wonderful place to live. I guess it's this beautiful weather and beautiful scenery. It just brings out positivity in people. And people get things done here and they live their passions. And I gotta tell you, I met somebody a couple weeks ago. The neighbors were having a little party. And we're out there and we're having our little toddies and whatnot. And someone at the party had done some baking and it was beautiful stuff. And actually I got a little jealous, but whatever. And suddenly this guy came over to me, goes, "Well, are you the Palm Springs Baker?" And I was like, who are you talking to? I am in Palm Springs and yes, I am a baker, but I thought, come on over here, Drew. This is Drew Caldwell. I wanted to say to Drew, if you think I'm a TV star, you need to get out more often, honey, because whatever. As I said, this is Drew Caldwell, and he is a fabulous baker, and you really taught yourself how to do this, Drew.
Yeah, a lot of it is. Yeah.
Oh my God. They'll show you on camera. I think there's some pictures there of these gorgeous creations he has done. And not are they as beautiful as you're seeing them there, but they are scrumptious, Drew. They are just amazing. Yeah. And you bake almost every day, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Like maybe 4 or 5 times a week.
So, where did this baking thing come from?
I think it's a couple of different things. One, when we were growing up, it was a way to have good food that wasn't expensive.
Yeah.
So, you get ingredients, you put it all together, you make tasty food, you enjoy it with friends and family.
Are you trying to say Mom wasn't a good cook? Or?
My mom was an excellent cook. She still is to this day.
I'm kidding, kiddo. I'm kidding.
But, we learned a lot of cooking from my grandparents and a lot of baking. It was really, really quite yummy.
Well, and if my memory serves me correctly, you are from...
We were Scottish. Yeah.
Scottish descent. So is this a little kilt you've got on under here or something, Drew?
Well, no, it is.
He's not telling. We'll just leave it at that.
Sure.
But so you went to Europe and traveled around and
for work.
And what did you do? Weren't you looking at cookbooks and things?
Yeah, when I was traveling for work, my hobby was going to the plazas, which are right by the churches, typically in the different towns.
Okay.
And you go to ask the ladies, how do you make your Bavarian cream? What's your recipe for this? Just met some wonderful people. We talked about food. I learned how they're doing things and kind of brought the best of the comfort foods that they would make for their families.
So is that what you think kind of sparked a lot of it? That you went on this trip, or had you kind of discovered the passion before that?
Well, it was before. It's a lifelong thing. Yeah. So in the U.S., when I'm here, I ask people, what was the favorite thing that your mother or grandmother would make for you? What are those flavors? What are those really lovely foods? And so you learn kind of what people like, and you make some of that stuff, and you have people over for dinner, and you share some food.
But Drew, what you just said, I think it's really worth repeating, because I think every time I bake something, I think of my mom. Mm-hmm. She was a wonderful baker and cook. And I didn't discover a passion for it till much later on, but I want to make something that I think she would think was fabulous.
Yeah.
It's
really true. It's about family and sharing food and comfort and connection.
It's more than the food and more than the process.
Yeah.
It's family and
friends.
Getting to, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to talk a little bit more, but I think we're going to get into the baking because you are going to make something fabulous for us today.
Well, I'm going to make Red Velvet Cupcakes for everybody today.
And they're not just Red Velvet Cupcakes, trust me. Wait till you see these little suckers when he's done with them. They are gorgeous. So I'm going to let you begin. Oh, you know what, Drew?
Oh.
Should we have a little toss?
Absolutely.
We always have a little martini on the show.
Hello.
Yes, we do. It brings us good luck.
All right.
Oh, isn't that a good one? Oh,
that's something right.
I'm gonna put him over there for now, and I'm gonna let you get at it. So, Drew, this is different today. I don't have to do a lot of this. Drew is here. I love it, Drew.
All right.
I'm just here to kind of watch over and learn from you.
I thought I'd start by talking about what is the red velvet cake.
Sure.
If you think about a chocolate cake, Think about a buttermilk cake. If they had a baby, it would be a red velvet cake. So it's got some of the tang of a buttermilk cake with the vinegar and the buttermilk that are in there, but it's a cousin of a chocolate cake. So it's got a lot of the chocolate flavor notes. And you balance the two in different ways to make different kinds of red velvet cake.
Yeah.
One of the things I brought today were 3 different chocolates that you can take a look at. This is like a Hershey's regular chocolate. This is a Hershey's Special Dark Chocolate. And this is the Tone Anthony's Organic Black Chocolate. And they all have a different intensity of flavor. And so when you're painting with flavor, you can kind of mix and match almost like with paints with what you're doing.
So Drew, would you say like when you do, say this recipe, do you kind of play around with the amount that you use?
Yeah.
He's an artist. He's not just a self-taught baker. He's an artist, really.
Well, to me, it's about the people the guests you're having over, or you're making for the event or the charity or whatever you're doing. And one of the things that Red Velvet, the niche that it kind of fits in, is that some people are sweet tooth, some people are savory tooth, you know, some like the sours, some like all these different things. And so when you plan your table and the dinner, you want to include something that everybody will really respond to. You know, the people who are like into different things.
He's a much more, you're a much more cordial baker than I am. I'm like, I hope it's fabulous and I hope you like it. You, my God, kiddo, I'm coming over.
All right. Well,
all right.
There you go.
Well, you just feel free to get started.
So what I like about this particular recipe is it's a bowl for batter. So we have one bowl here.
You didn't like mine?
Your bowl is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very blingy.
My blingy bowl?
Your blingy bowl.
Okay.
This is just over 2 cups of pre-sifted flour, and the technique is called dump.
I like that.
Very complicated.
Dump it in.
Right? And then we've got two cups of organic cane sugar. Again, the technique.
Dump.
Dump.
I'm a quick steady, aren't I?
You are very quick stuff.
You know?
A little bit of baking powder. The recipe and proportions are actually on the website.
Yes, and we'll have this all at palmspringsbaker.com. Look it up there. And do you have a website?
No.
No, well, you can get it.
No social media.
That's okay, kiddo. But so don't worry about writing all this down.
Yeah,
It'll be on my
you'll get
website, palmspringsbaker.com.
And then a little bit of baking soda.
Wonderful.
A little bit of salt. And then we use a fancy technique I call stir the stuff.
And do you use a particular kind of flour, usually, Drew, or a combo? I've done some things where I've used a combination of different flours, but...
When I'm doing the breads and the biscuits, or like I just did a wonderful batch of homemade yeast dinner rolls with a dinner party. And those, I'm more particular about the flours. But in general, the U.S. flour quality is really very good.
Yes.
And I'm a cupboard cook. I buy on sale. I put it in the cupboard, and then it gets tossed in a bowl and made because I like to stretch a buck, you know.
Don't we all?
And make something tasty. So once you've mixed all that together, we're going to add our wet. The thing that makes the red velvet cake unique is the tang that you'll get in there with the chocolate. And that's coming from a couple of different ingredients. One of them is buttermilk, a little bit of vegetable oil, again, dumping a little. Another tang you get is from sour cream. And then we've got a couple of beaten eggs. We're gonna go for a more red cake today. If you use the darker chocolates of various varieties, you get a much richer chocolate flavor.
Okay.
But you trade off red color.
Okay.
But I'm gonna do more of go for the red color pop today. So I'm using just the milk chocolate today. I'm gonna put that in there.
Wonderful.
And then I am going to put the Palm Springs Baker to work.
Oh!
Yep.
Okay,
Sorry.
here I go, guys.
Last ingredient is a little bit of vinegar.
I think I'm getting there, Drew.
You are.
I think
so
I'm
if you'll
getting
put
there.
it on pause for a second.
Pause.
The guys in marketing said use red food coloring to make your red velvet cake. The thing about red food coloring, I'm not a real fan of it, but I will use it from time to time. They do have new ones that are made from beets. Different ways.
Nice,
that are
nice.
organic and nice. That,
Nice.
I tend to use those when I can, but
Yeah.
mix all that together.
We'll get this going again. This is looking luscious, Drew. Do you spray the paper tins, do you?
I do, because I really like everything to come out easy. So
Let me... I'm not going to say anything.
Mr. Editor.
You just
Yeah.
Spray away, kiddo. Okay.
I got you.
You got it.
I get you.
Alrighty.
You're causing unrest again. I just know it.
I'm good for that.
Yeah. Once these are in, I give them a quick tap down, and then we're gonna spray them again.
Ah.
That'll make it easy to peel, especially.
You know what? I honestly have always wondered if you should spray down the little paper cups.
Yeah. The thing with that is when you're serving at a party, because cupcakes are more of a party food.
Yeah.
You want people to be able to dispose of the wrapper quickly and easily and pass the lipstick test as they eat it.
You know what? I think you're the Emily Post of cakes. You are so kind and cordial to your guests.
Well, that's what I believe in. You're going to fill to the top of the liner.
The top?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that I find really helps make a generous round top to the cupcake is you fill it more than they say on the, like you may have learned with package directions.
Yeah. So we're gonna pop those in the oven.
Yep.
Right here. We've got it warmed up to 350. And we're gonna let those bake about how long, Drew?
The toothpick is your friend.
Yep.
It's all about the toothpick.
Yep.
But the earliest they'll get done even on a high running oven would be 20 minutes.
Okay.
On a little bit lower or uneven oven, it'll be 25.
Okay.
Maybe 26, 27, but it'll be somewhere in there. And
Well,
so
we're going to be
toothpick-
back within 20 to 27 minutes and pull them out of the oven. Should we have a little martini
Oh yeah,
again?
definitely.
Oh, that makes everything so much easier. Well, our 25 to 27 minutes are up. We got our cupcakes out of the oven and they look gorgeous, Drew. But I noticed you did something a little extra for us. You've got the red ones that you whipped up, but you also baked some of the dark chocolate.
Yeah. Earlier when we were talking about the palette of chocolates, we had a lighter chocolate, a medium chocolate, and a dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And depending on who you're serving to,
Yeah.
you may have a real chocoholic at table. You know, you're kind of thinking this stuff through. And so I made a couple of samples where it's a really rich, dark chocolate flavor, but it includes the tang of the buttermilk, the sour cream, and the vinegar in it. So it's still a red velvet cupcake. It's just a very, very dark one.
You know, I'm sorry I was distracted. I keep nodding. Does he look like Fabio or what? I mean, come on. I just, you know. Wait a minute. Okay, we can go on now. So what were you made these dark chocolate? Okay,
I mean, dark
whatever.
chocolate to include in the bit, right? So anyway, now we're going to do the next step, which is to make a very light cream cheese topping. And basically, this is a hybrid recipe of a traditional cream cheese frosting like you'd get on a cinnamon roll.
Okay.
And whipping cream that we're going to fold.
But I love when it's kind of a light frosting.
Yeah, it's going to be a very light frosting.
Nice.
So it should be quite yummy. This is heavy whipping cream. We're going to dump that in the bowl.
A very precise amount, people.
Very precise.
There are, you know, ingredient lists on the website. as I told you.
Exactly. I generally go with about a third of that volume roughly of confectioner sugar. Then we're going to add a precisely measured amount of vanilla.
Very precisely amount, right?
To taste.
Oh my God.
Whip it, boy. Whip it.
Whip it real good?
Whip it good.
Oh my God. I do remember the 80s, so I know what he's talking about. All right.
Because we're doing about 2 dozen of the cupcakes, we're going to use 2 blocks of cream cheese. And the technique is very highfalutin.
Called dump, right?
Yeah, it's a dump. You want about 3/4 of the volume
Okay.
of the cream cheese in confectioner sugar. And then we're going to do vanilla to taste.
Oh.
And with this one, you really want to whip it until it's got that smooth whipped consistency.
What kind of consistency?
That smooth whipped consistency. You're going to taste this by itself. You're going to taste this by itself. Isn't that lovely? And then
Delicious.
we're going to do this. Where you have, that's going to be the overall flavor.
Is this oh God, what is this?
Yeah, decadence. Isn't that nice together?
Yes. I was going to say more like euphoric, but whatever.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
Very good.
So now take a spatula
Okay.
and dump this into that.
Dump this into that. See?
It's a fancy technique.
It is.
I know.
We're just gonna fold that together.
Yeah. It's like whenever you work with mousses, it's all about making sure the air is not lost because you want that lightness.
You want me to put a dollop on each cupcake with this?
Perfect. Generous dollop.
Okay.
Go for it.
A generous one.
Yeah, that's a little too much. But, if you were a little kid wanting to get like a big glop of frosting,
Yeah.
that's what you want on there.
About like this, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere there. These are commercial roses rather than from the garden. So I've done 2 washes on these before we put them on a cake.
They're gorgeous.
Aren't they pretty?
Yes.
And one of the tricks I like for decorating is I'm actually going to pull these for petals. What I'm going to do with these particular cupcakes is I'm going to just do a little half strawberry. And the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to frame it with a couple of flower petals.
Beautiful.
One of the things that when I'm putting together a dessert tray like this, especially for an event, is you want people to be able to participate without feeling pressured. So one of the reasons we're using those beautiful berries with all of this is you'll find folks who are on restricted diets or can't have processed sugar or whatever it might be. They can take berries from the tray as well as take a cupcake.
Oh.
So we've got the 2 cupcakes now, the red velvet and the red velvet enhanced with more chocolate.
Oh my God, I'm gonna dive right into the red chocolate. I am, and this, you know, the texture on these is gorgeous.
Thank you.
I'm not just saying this. Oh, it's divine. It really is, Drew. It's fabulous. And I'm gonna just take a little bit of the dark.
That smooth cream cheese topping with
It's
the cake.
fabulous. My God, I'm gonna devour this in about 2 seconds after the show. I can't help it. They're fabulous.
They're so good.
I can't tell you how much it's meant to have you here, Drew. You are just fabulous. You and your partner live here together.
Yeah, we're wintering in Palm Springs.
And I understand that your partner has written some books.
Yeah, he has. They're on Amazon. Healing Your Lost Inner Child by Robert Jackman.
Oh, look it up on Amazon.
On Amazon.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, if you are ready to ease some of the emotional issues that are keeping you a little off balance,
Yeah,
it'll walk you very gently through
there's
the
help
process.
out there.
Yeah.
There's help out there. That's
But
wonderful.
this is my therapy.
Oh my God. Thank you, Drew.
Thank you
I
for having me
always
on
end
today.
every episode by saying, be good, be you,
Okay.
and bake.
Yes.